Okay, original sound is on. I've hit record. Johnny's hit record, I hope. And
we don't have a sound engineer for this, so if anything sounds awful, let us know.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Not after we've finished.
Yeah. What I done with my phone? Yeah, it's there. I can keep a check up on my phone. So, welcome to World Nickel Harbour Day, the closing concert thing. Thank you for still being here. And we're going to start with, two tunes, Red House and Air from the Double Dealer. Air from the Double Dealer, written by Henry Purcell, and Red House is a Playford Dancing master tune. So here we go. If you're going to be playing along and you've managed to get the dots, then we're going to do two, three? It's normally 2-2.
Okay.
2-2.
I don't pay attention, I don't know.
Okay. Actually, I'm going to tune it first.
Yippee! Talk amongst yourselves for an hour.
So that was...
And the crowd goes.
and the crowd goes, flap, flap, flap. Yes, Air from the Double Dealer by Purcell and Red House from the Dancing Master Collection. So I do a lot of Playford. We did our session that we'd pre-recorded and went into YouTube earlier on today, and that was a session of Playford tunes. And we do a lot of playing for these dances. And so I thought I should share with you some of my research into how and why this collection of tunes has been put together, or how it was put together. So... I'm going to share with you that research now. So the tunes that you're going to need if you're going to play along for the bits when you find them, they should be in the order of the pad, which is... I don't want to say it because that kind of gives away some of the...
If you listen really carefully, you'll hear the introduction slightly...
Yeah. I'll name check the tunes as I'm about to play them.
Good luck.
London, 1650. It had been a beautiful summer's day, and now the sun had set and the stars were starting to twinkle in the clear bright sky. And finally, John Playford was on his way home from the most incredible party that he'd ever been to. It has to be said, he had indeed drunk quite a lot of fine ale that night, and he was feeling quite merry. And as he went along the street, he danced a merry dance and he whistled a jolly tune. There'd been a lot of music at the party that night, and John's head was spinning with all of the melodies that had been played, although, to be honest, he couldn't entirely be sure if his head was spinning because of the music, because of the dancing, or because of the ale. Either way, he wasn't really looking where he was going, and he almost skipped straight into a shadowy figure standing there right in front of him. This figure's face was obscured by a big black floppy hat, but there seemed to be a secretive little smile on his lips and a slight red glow in his eyes. "Good evening," said the stranger. "Good evening to you too," replied John. The stranger nodded in acknowledgement. "You appear to enjoy a fine tune and a good dance. Abide with me a while, and I will show you some of the finest dancing that you have ever seen." The air appeared to cool a little in the hot summer's evening, and it seemed to John that he ought to accept this invitation from such a beguiling stranger. So they both went down the street, John and this fine companion, and the secretive little smile spread further across the stranger's lips, and he started to hum a little tune to himself. They went, and even though John could still hear the bells of Westminster in the distance, he found himself in a meadow that he'd never noticed before. And standing there right in front of his eyes were some shimmering, beautiful goddess-like creatures, all poised, expectant and ready for these two fine companions to arrive. The stranger turned to John and smiled. "Come, join us, have a dance. This will be the finest dancing in which you have ever participated." John hesitated. He'd heard some strange stories about dancing with ghostly apparitions such as these, but he did love to dance. And what harm could one dance do? Yes, said John, I'll dance. Slowly, the stranger lifted his nyckelharpa up under his arm and he started to play a new tune that nobody had ever heard before. Once, John found that his feet had started to move all by themselves. First, his toes tapped, next, his knees wobbled, then his whole leg, and finally, his whole body pulsated to this mesmerising dance. He was alarmed to find that he couldn't stop, leading up a double, forward and back, down and round the outside again, the goddesses doing the same, half around and a circular hay. It was a blur of dancing, faster and faster they went. Please stop, I need to catch my breath, cried John, but the stranger took none such notice and played on faster and faster. Cried for mercy, but it wasn't until as the sun began to rise that he heard the familiar voice of his good friend Henry. What in heaven's name are you doing dancing in the middle of the street? Cried Henry, and at that very moment the music ceased, the stranger and his creatures all vanished, and with the spell broken John fell to the ground in a dead faint. John never could fully explain that strange evening. But as soon as he had recovered enough, he went straight home and started to compile a manuscript of all of the music and all of the dances that he'd been party to that night. And it is said that that is how the Dancing Master collection was created. It must have been some dance that night, and an incredible sight to behold in the place that in later years came to be known as Devil's Acre. For we still dance those dances and play those tunes that before that night had never been heard before. Every word of that is true. Completely true. So I thought I'd try and play lots of different nickel harpers. So I'm going to swap to my Sienna harper. Yeah, I was going to say, I shared the dots earlier just as we started.
Do it again.
I could do it again. Trying to get to the computer will be a bit of a mare. So this is two tunes, which Johnny's going to share the PDF, hopefully, again, of the dots. We're going to play Brawl de Montard, followed by Buffins. Buffins is a very simple tune. I learnt it very early on in the recorder, one of the first tunes I ever played. Whoever Johnny's just sent it to, he didn't mean to send it as a private message. So my Sienna harper, I have so it's quite similar to the instrument that Olaf had. Yeah. With a drone string. Johnny dropped his mouse and the ball fell out. It's gone back in again now. So I have a drone string. Hold on. That's now unmuted. got 6 buttons, and because it's essentially a contra, that means I'd have about an octave, which I like to think is how we don't know what was, as Olaf said earlier, we don't know what was underneath the lid. But this means that the Sienna Angel, with her only having 5 buttons, this kind of makes sense. You've actually got a playable octave. I've got 6, which means I can be chromatic. So I think that the Sienna Angel would have been unchromatic, and this is definitely chromatic. So, okay.
Yeah, I guess.
To make sure everything's correctly.
Multitasking, not my strong point.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, got it. Yep, this tune. Oh, just tighten my bow. And just get that cable out the way. Okay. What piece are you playing?
Not the same as you.
Okay, cool. Let's start.
Now I'm going to play the same as you.
Okay.
performance you'll never get back.
So that was Braldemontard and Buffins, major and minor. So that's 2 harpers. Third harper, I'm going to bring the Mora harpa out.
I'm doing that one again.
So I'm going to play now on the Mora harpa. 3 tunes. Reggie Polskan, Reggie Gottesen, and good old Convulsions Lot, because Convulsions Lot rocks by Anders Norrida. Reggie Bedi, so it's the Bedi Polska and the Bedi Gottis. On the nyckelharpa, they would be in a different key, possibly, but I'm going to play it with. I'm tuned with a G, a D, and a G and a G, D, G, D, D. So when it comes to Convulsions Lot, I'm going to be playing it down there because it's slightly easier. And that's the key I need to be in for Reggie. So this is a who was it made by? It was made by Leif. No, not Leif. It was made by. I was briefly distracted by Robin, who looked quite orange for some reason. I don't know why.
Still looks like he's in the sunshine.
Hello, Robin.
Sunset.
Yeah, you're looking very orange. So Reggie Polskan, Reggie Gottesen, and Convulsions Lot. We're going to do them 2, 2, 2, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that what we wrote down?
I have no idea.
Didn't write anything down.
I don't read either.
Here we go. heavy. We're going to do something completely different now.
What are we doing now?
We are. Johnny's going to sing a song. It's called The Cuckoo. And we sort of intersperse it with the growling old man and the cackling woman.
There are two very short tunes that have been linked together for a long time, and they are sort of nonsense tunes. And The Cuckoo is a very, very old song that's been done many, many a time. But not like this. Only because this is today. And Vicky's very tired.
And today has been a long day.
Had to get out of bed early and everything.
It's been an amazing day.
If you know it, sing it. It's in A minor-ish. I say ish because I've got hay fever and I can't really hear or breathe.
So we're going to do probably twice through. We've got growling and cackling. We'll do that twice. And then Johnny will start singing. I think we'll do it twice, or is it once? Twice. We'll do it twice. And then in between each verse, we will do a cackling. So the B part, essentially. Okay. I can never remember.
And then I run out of things to sing about, and then we'll play the tune.
Yes. And the final verse is...
Something about rich people.
Ah, yes, rich people. Okay, we start with 4 potatoes.
We do.
Yeah, good.
He's a pretty bird who warbles as he flies. You will never hear the cuckoo until the 4th day of July. Yeah. Played cards in London, I've played cards in Spain, and I bet you $5 that I'll play cards again. Hey, the cuckoo, he's a pretty bird who warbles as he flies. You will never hear the cuckoo until the 4th day of July. Oh, Jack of Diamonds, Jack of Diamonds, I know you of old. When you broke my poor body just for silver and for gold. Yeah, the cuckoo, he's a pretty bird. He warbles as he flies. You will never hear the cuckoo until the 4th day of July. Yeah. you're rich man, oh, you're rich man. I know you of old. With your champagne and your parties, you leave us here so cold. And the cuckoo, he's a pretty bird. He warbles as he flies. You are never hear the cuckoo until the 4th day of July.
The cuckoo.
Just got one left.
We've got, well, sort of one and the last one.
And an annoyance.
We're going to sing another song, much slower this time. It's more of a, it's jig, but it's a slower one. This is Dancing Shoes, Dance All Night. If you fancy singing along, the chorus is Dance All Night, we will dance all night. And it's got a waltz that we're going to play twice on the front. The waltz is Elsie's Waltz. That's on one of the pages of the PDF. And then we're going to do once through the next tune. There are 2 tunes on the next page, one of which should have been scribbled out. We're doing the second tune, not the C major one, but the G major one. And then we're singing the song, and in between each verse there is an A part. And we finish with the tune and then the first part of the waltz again. If you can remember all of that, then... I'm going to swap back to the normal harp. I do also have a contrabass harpa and a silver bass harpa, but they don't get played often enough for me to be able to play them, to get them in tune. So maybe next year I'll get something prepared on those. He's only got 8 strings.
Yeah, they're not very in tune though. That'll do.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's what we're doing.
I'm just going to have a quick look at the chat. Two times through the waltz. 2 times through the waltz.
said, choose my love and I will put on mine. Follow all the friends down the hill, we'll make it just in time. We will dance all night. We will dance all night. You and I. Let me take you by the hand and lead you to the floor. Against those moves we know so well, like many times before. We will dance all night. We will dance all night. You and I. I hold you in my arms so close as we dance cheek to cheek. Look so fine, so beautiful, I can hardly speak. So we will dance all night. We will dance all night. You and I. We will dance all night. We will dance all night. Darling, dance all night. We will dance all night. You and I.
So we thought we would finish with
This is your exit music.
this is
You
well
can
this
go
is the
away
this
now.
is the this was we thought we'd make this the encore music, which is Hector the hero into the Glasgow Reel. So that was on the PDF that we shared earlier. I think there was some other tunes, so there should be some pink scribbles out possibly on the pages too. So we're going to do Hector the hero once through fully. So we're going to go A A B B A B. And then I think we're going to go through the Glasgow Reel or Tamlin or whatever you call it 4 times, but it is going to get faster each time. So we shall try and start it slow and not get so fast that I fall off it.
And you have to practice in the first time round because second time round it's a bit quicker.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how it works, isn't it, really? Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you for still being here. Is there anyone? Wave if you've been here since the first thing in the morning at 9 o'clock in Tokyo. Yes, I can see one. Well, I can see 2. I can see 3. Awesome. It's been a long day. It's been a brilliant day. Some of the things have been streamed into YouTube, so are re-watchable. So what went in? The Global Tune went in. The Espion at ESI went in, and Anders went in to, and Regina and Leif and Espion again went in. So there's quite a lot of stuff. And this isn't being streamed into YouTube, but we are recording it, so we will edit it and put it into Facebook, warts and all, because it's been a long day. I have used up all my words. I am now right at the bottom,
very well.
right at the bottom of the tank of words. We're getting the words that are just yeah. Thank you for coming and making World Nuclear Harbor Day in Zoom, in the Zoom Cafe. Amazing! It's been really amazing. Just, I have a bottle of, I have a glass of wine waiting for me after all of this. And then don't forget to send me your global tunes if you haven't already sent them in. I know I've already had, however many I said earlier. I think 88 people's worth. I mean, there'll be more bodies than that because I think there could well be like 8 me's. I think. Although
one is enough. Let's face it.
Yes, so lots. If you want to do more than one part and send in more than one you, that would also be fine. It won't count in the numbers, as in we're still on 88, 89, but send in as many as you like. We have quartets. We do have I'm a quartet. Valentine's a quartet. Anyway, I will stop talking now and play the Glasgow Reel and Hector the Hero, not in that order. Are we going to be in the same key?
After all you're chatting, guess who hasn't taken his capo off?
Johnny has been doing stuff behind the scenes as well. He's been helping out with the sound, sat down in the lounge watching all of the Harper Day stuff going on. Going, come back, I need you in the room.
I've also been doing tech support for somebody in Brazil trying to cut holes in a cow horn.
Anyway.
Was that not right?
And that brings us to the end of World Nyckelharpa Day 2025 in the Zoom Cafe. Thank you so much all for coming and for being there. It's been a very awesome day.